One Piece Episode 1 Reaction and Review. I'm Luffy, I am the one who's going to be king of the pirates. Now surprisingly, I have a lot of nostalgia for One Piece growing up as a little kid watching TV, cartoons and anime and whatnot. I did watch One Piece from time to time. Now I'm not a huge fan of One Piece whatsoever. I wouldn't even say I'm a casual fan, I'm just very neutral on One Piece, so I wanted to pick it up once again. You know, it's fourth quarter, you know, better cash in while, better cash in while it's too late, but, you know, I'm just kidding. But anyway, One Piece Episode 1, I did want to check it out, and I believe I did a few months ago, but I didn't really pick it up, but I just wanted to sort of document this journey of me watching One Piece. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be a permanent sort of fixture on the channel. I want to see how you guys respond to this sort of review slash reaction to One Piece, and basically I'm going to start a resurgence in me watching One Piece because, you know, in 2013, 2012, you know, I did have a resurgence sort of watching Dragon Ball, and now I'm pretty damn knowledgeable on Dragon Ball, and, you know, I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. You know, I live, breathe Dragon Ball, and that was due to me watching it as a kid and the resurgence, you know, of watching it again. And, you know, same thing with One Piece, but to a far lesser extent. I mean, I've watched all of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT when I was growing up as a kid, but I only watched a few episodes of One Piece, and while I enjoyed it, especially the 4Kids rap, and I do have a lot of nostalgia for One Piece, it wasn't really something that I clung on to. It was just a cool show, but it didn't really grab me. You know, I know the core characters, you know, Luffy, Nami, Zolo or Zoro, whatever you want to call them, you know, those sets of characters, especially because of the 4Kids rap, as I said, but still, I didn't really have that attachment to it as I did with Dragon Ball. And so yeah, and also One Piece is like 700 episodes, so it's much easier to digest Dragon Ball than One Piece, and I was just a fan of Dragon Ball a bit more, well, a lot more I should say, because I don't know, it just resonated with me a lot more, and I got back into Dragon Ball much more than I did One Piece, you know, with the resurgence and whatnot that I had like in 2012, 2013 with the Battle of Gods movie, the movie. So I wanted to watch One Piece Episode 1 and go through my experiences of watching One Piece, so here we go. So One Piece Episode 1, it starts off with a cruise ship being attacked, you know, a cruise, you know, passenger ship being attacked by a nearby pirate ship. Now, I think this opening sequence is really cool, and meanwhile, like a mysterious barrel floats, you know, towards the cruise. We find out that that's our, you know, main character, Luffy, but anyway, we find out that ALVIDA is the pirate ship captain, and she's a rather oddly proportioned woman with a giant, you know, metal club, and that gets used later on in the episode, and it's used for laughs, and it's, you know, she's a pretty funny character, very over the top. And what I did want to say about One Piece is that I really do like the designs, the character designs of the people on One Piece, you know, Luffy, and, you know, a character we'll get to in a minute, Kobe, just very interesting, funny, like, not awkward in terms of a bad way, but just weird looking designs. But anyway, the pirates raid the cruise passenger ship as the barrel finds its way onto the ship, and one of the pirates' crewmates, Kobe, as we were talking about before, is scared of raiding the cruise, and he gets slapped around by ALVIDA to get into gear and to just raid the cruise. So the pirates attempt to take all of the ship's valuables, and that makes Nami switch into her pirate getup, and she is one of the cruise members, by the way, but then she like sort of like basically like the switches and becomes like a pirate, and then she sneaks onto the pirate ship trying to like steal all of their pirate belongings, and then Kobe and the other pirates find this barrel, and then he pops out, Monkey D. Luffy, king of the pirates. Well, he wants to be king of the pirates, but anyway, Kobe finds this barrel, and then Monkey D. Luffy pops out in this really humorous scene. I do love Mayumi Tanaka, you know, also the voice of Kuririn from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and whatnot, you know, Krillin, Kuririn, whatever. Mayumi Tanaka, she does an excellent portrayal of Luffy. Now, I have heard of Colin Clinkerbeard's performance, and while it's good, I do like Colin Clinkerbeard's portrayal as Luffy. I just don't think you can beat Mayumi Tanaka. She's just that talented as a voice actress. But anyway, she is brilliant as Luffy, and she really carries this episode. you know, this One Piece episode with Luffy, you know, One Piece episode 1, while it is good and it's solid and it's way better than like Dragon Ball Z episode 1, for instance, One Piece episode 1, it's okay. Like, it's pretty good. It's a pretty solid episode, but nothing all really that spectacular happens. So Mayumi Tanaka's portrayal as Luffy really carries it home and really makes this episode, in my opinion. But anyway, the pirates and Kobe are all surprised by Luffy's presence, and he's just very casual about it. You know, he just wants some food. And when he disarms the pirate swords, they basically just run off like scaredy cats, leaving Luffy and Kobe alone, and then they, you know, spend much of the episode sort of bonding, and Luffy is hungry, as I said, and he searches around for food, and he's rummaging like the ship, and, you know, much to Kobe's dismay, because, like, you know, they might be after him. But anyway, Luffy explains that his ship got eaten by a wormhole and he needs a small boat to get out of there and become king of the pirates, because Luffy is a pirate and that's his main goal, is to be king of the pirates and attain the One Piece. Now, what is the One Piece? Well, it's just the MacGuffin of the series, and that's basically it. Nobody knows. I thought it would be always funny, like, if a One Piece was just like One Piece Chapter 1 and they'd like read like their own adventures in a very meta way, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, Luffy is a very fun character in this episode, and he really makes this episode. If this wasn't, you know, focused on Luffy, I mean, obviously it has to be because he's the main character, but if it wasn't, this episode would have been just complete garbage in my opinion. I think Luffy really saves this episode. But anyway, it's also explained that Kobe was abducted by ALVIDA's pirate crew when he went fishing one time, and then ever since he was forced to be a part of their crew as sort of a chore boy, you know, doing like some menial tasks, you know, basically acting like a chore boy, you know, a bitch, basically. So yeah, anyway, the pirates continue sailing from the passenger cruise, while Luffy shares his aspiration of becoming, as I said, king of the pirates, as he is searching for a crew and he wants to go to the Grand Line and get the One Piece. That's his goal. That's the whole goal of One Piece, the series. But anyway, the pirates continue stealing from the passenger cruise while, you know, again, Luffy shares his aspirations of becoming king of the pirates, and then Kobe describes the king of the pirates as someone who has attained fame, power, wealth, and all of those things, which doesn't really seem, you know, like Luffy. Luffy in this episode kind of just seems like a free spirit, you know, he just goes and travels wherever he wants. So him wanting to attain fame, power, wealth, and all of those other things that other people might strive for, but it just seems uncharacteristic, for me at least, just till now. You know, like just now, it almost seems uncharacteristic for Luffy, this sort of free-going spirit, to want fame, power, wealth, and all of these sort of power plays, basically. You know, it just seems a little strange to me. I mean, obviously that'll get explained in future episodes, but that just kind of seems a little off to me. You know, this free spirit just wanting all of this fame, hunger, you know, power, you know, I don't know, it just seems rather odd. But, you know, this wacky kid, you know, just wanting power and wealth and all of that and becoming king of the pirates, it just seems a little weird to me. But again, it'll be explained, and that's not a criticism either way, that's just me sort of talking as I'm sort of, you know, I already watched the episode, and you may say, why don't you just do a reaction video? Well, reaction videos aren't really my scene. I don't really like reaction videos. I like when somebody actually, you know, takes time to think about their opinion and write down notes and all of that, so they actually have a clear, you know, basically they have a clear idea of what they're talking about beforehand, rather than just reacting to the episode. And obviously the copyright stuff, you know, justifiably so, you know, reaction channels get copyrighted, but yeah, I don't want to be a part of that. And I also just want to speak my mind after I view the episode, and once I've seen a episode, you know, fully sort of digested, and I've fully digested the one episode, you know, I prefer that method and just basically talking about it in sort of a podcast style, more or less, rather than just sort of reacting to the episode as it goes. I'd rather want a full-fledged opinion after I've seen the episode. So that's why I'm not going to do any reactions or any of that stuff. But that's just me. But anyway, Luffy is looking for a crew, and he wants to obtain the titular MacGuffin of the series of the One Piece. And for One Piece is something that, you know, in the beginning of the episode, the very, very beginning, you know, before the intro, I believe, it's something that everyone is after, and its original owner was Gold Roger, or Gold Roger, before he passed away. And he started the Great Pirate Era with everyone, like I said, looking for the One Piece. Luffy talks about wanting to die for trying to attain the role of King of the Pirates, and then it goes to a really sort of emotional scene, and it's quite, you know, probably the best scene in the whole entire first episode, you know, more or less, you know. It's a toss-up to me, like this emotional part where like sort of Kobe is really sort of talking to Luffy about wanting to join the Navy. That's either my favorite or second favorite scene in the whole entire first episode. My, you know, also the contender for that, you know, for the best scene is probably when Luffy jumps out of the barrel, very, like, excited, you know, fresh after waking up, you know, after the nap. But, you know, those are my two favorite moments. But anyway, Kobe has a touching scene with him wanting to join the Navy and him willing to die for wanting to join the Navy, you know, him really wanting this, and that's his passion, to go stop criminals, and him wanting to join the Navy. So, you know, Luffy talking about wanting to die for trying to attain the role of King of the Pirates really resonated with Kobe, and it was probably one of the best scenes in the whole entire episode, in my opinion. Probably my favorite, but let's move on. So as they finish talking, ALVIDA shows up to prepare to fight Luffy and to scold Kobe. And they briefly mention Zoro, the pirate hunter. You know, his name is Olo, you know, it's like a samurai, if you've watched the 4Kids dub. And I know that's sacrilegious to talk about the 4Kids dub and that horrible rap, you know, to some One Piece elitist. I don't care. I think it's funny. But anyway, after that, after the Zoro mention, it's all action from here. Luffy and Kobe escape the crew, where, you know, we see his stretching abilities due to the Gum Gum fruit. So yes, Luffy did eat a devil fruit known as the Gum Gum fruit, and he knocks them all out, and then he talks about how he's a rubber person, so Luffy knocks out all of the crew, and then we see Luffy and ALVIDA confront one another as Nami escapes very, you know, humorously with all of the pirate ship's stuff, so all of the pirates' belongings Nami has, and then she goes and escapes the boat, very funny stuff, and then, you know, Kobe finally confronts ALVIDA as well by actually, you know, growing a pair and just calling her an ugly hag, you know, disproportioned hag or whatever, with the giant club. And then Luffy flings ALVIDA, you know, with his Gum Gum pistol, you know, he just flings her right away as she lands into the ocean, causing like a massive, like humongous splash, which I thought was like one of the highlights, you know, one of the quick pieces of comedy in the episode. You know, it's kind of subtle, but it's like also like it makes, well, a massive impact, because I think it's like one of the funniest things in the episode, just her causing a huge splash after sort of Kobe roasting her, basically. So yeah, that was quite funny. So ALVIDA is defeated, and the Navy ships have arrived due to, you know, all of the pirate stuff. You know, that was going on, all of the pirates stealing from the passenger ship, and then they're searching for the pirates, obviously, that did that. So Luffy goes off with Kobe and meets up with Nami, but they don't really talk. You know, Nami is getting onto the small boat along with Luffy and Kobe. They drift off on two different boats, and then Luffy remembers the pirate hunter Zoro that you know, ALVIDA was talking about, and then he goes off and searches for the pirate hunter, and then we see an awesome final frame of, you know, Zoro basically just hung up, and he looks, you know, extremely pissed. And that was the end of One Piece episode 1, so overall it was a decent episode. Again, it wasn't anything too special, but it did give us a good, you know, few comedy moments and a bit of, you know, dramatic tension. But for the most part, it just, you know, it's an average episode. It's fine. I think really Mayumi Tanaka, she really knocks this one out of the park, and she really makes us care for Luffy, and she really makes us sort of like Luffy. You know, Luffy is a very likable character, and Mayumi Tanaka is probably the sole reason for that. Well, one of the sole reasons for that. She just does a terrific performance, but it was an okay episode, and yeah, so I'm very much looking forward to the first arc of this, you know, basically moving forward and me continuing with the first arc of One Piece, because that's what I remember most as a little kid watching it. And again, I was very casual going into One Piece and, well, watching One Piece as a little kid, I was much more in tune with Dragon Ball and knowledgeable about Dragon Ball, and that's why, you know, and just a huge fan of Dragon Ball, and not so much One Piece, you know, kind of just flew under the radar. But I'm glad I'm watching it again, and it was fun. It was a fun first episode, but nothing, you know, particularly special. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Please make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe for more One Piece reviews, and yeah, see you guys next time. Bye.